Hello and welcome to Eat Sleep Code, the official Telerik podcast. I'm your host, Ed Charbeneau, and with me is my co-host, John Bristowe. So we actually had a lot of similar links for the week, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Great minds think alike, and we both follow .NET. We've had our fair share of dealings with .NET. So we both tagged some of these updates. We've got .NET 8 Preview 5 is out.
Yep.
So they used to call these betas, John, back
I know.
in my day.
I know.
Now they're called previews, and we have a brand new preview for .NET 8. This is Preview 5. A lot of housekeeping stuff, in my opinion. They added some new metrics, source linking, part of the SDK, new library analyzers. That's always handy. Nothing like framework directly like impacting the code you write. Those is much more operational stuff, in my opinion. But well needed stuff that we could use, even if it's behind the scenes doing stuff for us. A little bit more ARM support. But with that is also the ASP.NET 8, the ASP.NET Core updates in ASP.NET in .NET 8. They made this one really difficult. I won't go over the whole naming scheme and why it's difficult again, but it is. So ASP.NET Core in .NET 8 Preview 5. It's a mouthful. There's actually some stuff here that's developer tangible stuff that we can put our hands on and play with. Blazor. We heard about this thing called Blazor United a couple months back, where Blazor traditionally had a web assembly presence, which lets you deploy web applications via WebAssembly using C# code to the browser.
Right.
And then there was also a server-side flavor of this. Your traditional server-side rendered .NET application, similar to the way web MVC works in most regards. And why not have the best of both worlds, John? Why not do it all?
Why not?
Why not just merge all that stuff together? Do some good old-fashioned isomorphic rendering. So we've got basically ASP.NET Ajax without the half-page rendering stuff.
That's a term I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, it kind of works in a very similar way. So you're sending data. You send the original fully rendered page down the wire. Then components can decide how they want to handle rendering. Do they want to do it locally? Do they want to hand off part of their rendering to the server and let some data flow that way? It's pretty nice to be able to write just one style of application.
Yep.
And not have this whole paradigm of, am I running on the server? Am I running on the client? I have to choose one or the other. This one, you've got your whole peanut butter cup. You've got your chocolate and peanut butter in one happy solution, and it tastes great. So that's what this release was starting to kick off, is the United Blazor front there. So that's a big one. New template there. Click File, New Blazor project, run it, see what you get. Some new API stuff, SignalR, Seamless Reconnect. That is nice, very nice. People have been asking for that one. More native AOT. We keep seeing pushes for that in every preview release this time. Authentication and authorization templates are being updated as well. I talked to Daniel Roth, the program manager on this one, a couple of months back, and they weren't sure if they were going to get to this in Preview 8 or .NET 8. But it's showing up in the previews now, so they must have made room for it. It's nice to see the whole authentication templates getting some attention. I don't know if you're familiar with those, John, but
yep.
They've existed for quite some time. How long ago did you touch those that identity template stuff?
Oh, it's a long time ago. Long time ago.
They haven't changed since. So there looks like they're getting some updates. So
That's good.
that'll be nice. So
Yeah, the
let's
the highlight the
go ahead.
highlight for me was the analyzers. So
Oh
this is
yeah, let's
something.
get back to that.
Yeah, so this is something that I've wanted for a very long time. So analyzers have been around since, gosh, 2005, I think.
Mhm.
Basically, the static code analysis tools, etc. You may remember FX Cop as the first sort of incantation of this.
Yeah.
But .NET Library Analyzers, what they're doing is they're extending this out to the community, which is fantastic. So there are contributions from current and former Microsoft folks, but basically they're opening up the amount of, well, they're opening up the analyzer sort of rules to members of the community, which is fantastic because now things that are constant sort of um, annoyances, I guess, that you want your analyzers to pick up will now show up in the analysis run. And so there's one by Stephen Taub. There's on, if you take a look at his, it's basically focused around converting argument null checks to argument null exception throw if null. So there's all kinds of different ones that they're adding to the current list, which I think is great. That's a huge win in my books. Is opening it up to the community gives developers a better chance to write better code, and
Like
community contributions, I think, has been a long time coming.
here's one that I hear quite often and always forget when I'm writing my own code. It's more efficient and clearer to use length, count, or is empty than to call enumerable.empty extension method to return or determine if a collection has any elements. So this
Yep.
one will kind of
Yep.
alert you of all the .any's that you've got placed within your code and tell you to
Yep.
go ahead and use length equals 0 or count equals 0.
Yep. So big fan there. That's massive. And obviously the other one is the fact that SourceLink itself is also interesting. So .NET SDK now includes SourceLink to power up the IDE experience when inspecting source-linked NuGet packages. The goal is that by bundling SourceLink into the SDK, instead of requiring a separate package reference, more packages will include this information by default. So this is basically a language and source control agnostic system. And if you're like, people would typically associate this with like sort of PDBs and things of that nature, but basically source debugging is extremely important, especially when stepping through code, and doubly especially important when is that even an expression, when stepping through NuGet packages that expose PDBs. So this is basically enabled through Roslyn, and it will give you some better sort of transparency into packages going forward, which is huge. Massive.
Nice. Yeah, overall, good stuff again in this release. Looking forward to it. I still haven't gotten into the Blazor stuff to try it out yet. Plan on doing that soon. I just wrapped up some work that I'm doing for progress on a workshop that we're going to give later this year. Just got done writing like all of the documentation for that guy. So it's time to move on to some more modern Blazor stuff again and check it out. More on the .NET front.
Yes.
The C# dev kit for Visual Studio. Have you checked this
Yes.
out, John?
I have. Yes, I have. This was an
This is
announcement by Tim, and basically it's like, OmniSharp on steroids. It's obviously different, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, so if you're not in the know, like OmniSharp was the C#. It's, how do you phrase that, John? What kind of
It's
tool
it's
is that?
basically a language server for C# in VS Code. So language
Yeah.
servers come in all forms of flavors and varieties, and basically you tie it to a particular language, and it provides language services like IntelliSense and debugging, and it will extend out the capabilities of VS Code. What C# Dev Kit is basically Microsoft's sort of foray into this space. OmniSharp was always a community project, so I guess they wanted more control and provide different sort of capabilities. I talked about this with another person on a different show, and we were talking about how it's basically like OmniSharp plus plus. The thing
Yeah.
that I think a lot of developers like about this is that it extends out the capabilities of VS Code for things like unit test runs and things of that nature. The thing that developers don't like about this is that it requires a license to Visual Studio to install and run. Not to install, but to
Ooh.
run. And in particular,
That's what the
some,
catch is. I saw something
yeah,
about that. I was trying to find out like if this had its own license or what it was.
yeah. So it's there's a chart there in the middle where they talk about little like the requirements there. So yeah, that you just yeah, that no, there you go.
Gotcha.
Bang. So this chart here, basically, if you want to run IntelliCode, you know, or you want to run the dev kit extension, these are licensed under your Visual Studio subscription, which means that if you don't have one, you're going to need one. So yeah, but the C# extension itself is available as MIT.
Okay. So the Test Explorer and the Solution Explorer
Yeah, those are
require
little
a
features
Visual
that have been
Studio
added.
license.
Yeah, you were
I
showing
was
a GIF there.
Yeah, I was just about to say this is really actually super cool.
Yes.
Let's see if I can get zoomed in on it. There we go. So not only do we get like the run test UI right here, so we can kick off a test. So this is something me and Eagle Hansen, the gentleman that wrote BUnit, which is actually being demoed on this page. This is another reason why I think it's cool. That is unit testing a Razor component or a piece of a Blazor application right there, the calculator component for a Blazor app. And it's recognizing the test, placing a button in the UI, and letting you
the
run
playback.
the test
Yep.
right from the Solution Explorer, which I think is super, super cool because not only is BUnit like not a first-party thing, but it's just a test framework that's built upon, it's an extension of any of your favorite test suites. So like XUnit, NUnit, or MS Test.
Yeah, I've used this. I love it. It's great. It's basically you click on a certain node, it will walk the tree and run all the tests underneath it, or you can run individual unit tests if you wish.
Yeah, like I had hacked and cobbled together stuff with extensions to make this work in VS Code before. It did work, but it wasn't. It didn't feel very intuitive. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Kind of like bubblegum and band-aids getting it working, but it did work. But this is
Yeah,
nice
the MacGyver it.
feature.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I found like an NUnit extension that just so happened to work with BUnit, but it didn't support BUnit. So there's like a lot of weird stuff that it would do.
Sure.
Like things are like overly deeply nested in the UI tree and stuff. It was just kind of funky, but it did run. So that's nice to have. This is really cool.
Yeah, so it is, and the capabilities of it vastly exceed OmniSharp. The biggest sort of thing that people were talking about recently in the community was the fact that it required an extension or a license. Excuse me.
Welcome to the show, Thindle. We're just John's just getting his day started in the future. It's already Friday. It's the weekend for him. So this is,
I know. It's crazy.
I'm just rounding out my Thursday, but you and my daughter from the future. We've got some things to talk about from the future in a few minutes. We get into some AR VR stuff, John. I'm sure you're excited.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw this, John. This one I just caught before the show started and threw it in the mix. I had never heard of it before, but it sounds really cool. So Microsoft has extended TypeScript into the IoT space, and they're calling it DevScript. DeviceScript, I mean. Sorry, we went with the dev kit.
Yeah, that's fine.
DeviceScript. So DeviceScript, which compiles TypeScript into a custom VM bytecode for a couple IoT devices.
Yeah, so instead of compiling down a JavaScript, it's just hitting a different target. Makes sense.
So it compiles for microcontroller-based devices, and a couple of them listed here. I'm not going to roll those letters and numbers off, but I think this is really cool. This lets you extend something that you might already be familiar with into another space. So you can write TypeScript and deploy that to a microcontroller device that is
a bit of a risky click. Would you mind clicking? Would you mind clicking the project website for a second? It's listed right there in that third paragraph there. Yeah. Oh, this is it. There you go.
Sparse.
Mm.
It's brand new. It must have just dropped. So it is a Visual Studio Code extension, and
And the
there's also a
CLI, I
command
think.
line for it as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
And there's some samples here.
Nice.
Like nice video here with the proto board. I'm sure we will get like a
Awesome.
blinking, the obligatory, like this is the to do app for IoT, right?
I know. I blew
The
I blew
Hello
up one of
World.
those. I blew up one of those accidentally because I didn't ground it
Good God,
in
man.
my comp sci class. It exploded on me.
The 555 timers. If is that one? No, that's a microcontroller. Probably don't need them in
It's
this.
Raspberry Pi.
I've blown up plenty of 555 timers.
You get that
Not
smell of
so many.
that smell of electronic death.
Yeah, if you reversed the polarity on those, they didn't have a safety. They would just go
Yep.
boom.
Yeah, they don't. The boards won't explode, but what you will get is this little whiff of smoke that comes up a little bit, and then you'll get this overwhelming smell of burnt.
Yeah, mildly like
uh,
fishy smell.
oh,
It's
okay.
not a good smell.
There you go. I know the smell of burnt solder very well. Let's just put it
Smell
that
of
way.
burnt sardines. Capacitor going up. It's just not good.
Mm-hmm.
The big topic for today, John.
Yes.
The Stack Overflow Developer Survey.
Yes. Yes. This has been
So-
running for many, many years.
This is usually very helpful knowledge. They go ahead and send out an open invite to the survey, and they ask people questions about their education, what tech stacks they use, their salary ranges, what tools
Zig
they use at
are
work.
now the number one of the list. Zig developers.
Yeah, I never heard of Zig. Is this something you know about, John?
Yes.
So,
yes. The one developer outlier.
The one.
Sorry.
You're the one. We'll start off here. Educational it was a little surprising to me. There's actually quite a few BA folks that were respondents in the report here. Not as many self-taught people as I had suspected. I thought this trend would grow a little bit more over time, or maybe it's just the pool of people that are answering the survey.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. The best developers I've ever worked with were English majors. So
English majors, huh?
Yep. Go figure.
Let's see. How do you learn how to code? This is another good one if you're in the content creation community like I am. Blogs, videos, forums, etc. 80%. Books, physical media, 50. How is this broken down? Like I'm trying to figure out here. There's a lot.
I would
of
imagine it'd be multiple choice.
Yeah, this has to be some kind of multiple choice here. Hackathons, boot camps, kind of ranking pretty low. Online resources, forums, and videos and things up pretty high. Let's move on here. Experience. This was just of the survey itself, and this is marketed to folks that use Stack Overflow. So it's a lot of people in the 5 to 9 year range. I'd say it's probably pretty indicative of most careers. You're going to see a lot of people on the entry level. Then you've got some senior folks up top.
Inversely proportionate to management.
Exactly. Dev roles. I'm glad they still have full stack on there, and quite a few people answering that as a response, even though there's been a vocal cry of like, these people don't exist. Yes, we do. And there we are. We get back end, front end, and then mobile developer. So not a lot of mobile devs on the Stack Overflows, which is pretty interesting. So
mobile only, I would imagine.
A lot of server and front end stuff. Maybe a lot of web people here.
That was just Sam. That was Sam filling out the survey 10 times. Sorry.
Most popular technologies. And you can see like this is very heavily web skewed. Like JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Python. That's interesting. SQL and TypeScript. I'd loop into JavaScript. Look how dominant the JS folks still have it. So that's a lot of people on the survey doing the JavaScripts. C# still up there in the top 10. We've got Rust. I wish they had the like the velocity of these. I thought
Sure.
they usually did that, but I didn't see it this time around.
I think further down the report they go into that.
Okay, because I don't. Rust is up there, and I feel like it was lower last time.
And these numbers don't reflect what you see in other language surveys. So JavaScript is number 1, but you typically see C# in the top 5.
Yeah. What are people learning? It's pretty similar to the other results there. So it's just going to probably continue this trend if the people that are learning stuff are learning HTML, JavaScript, etc., etc. It's not going to change too much. What's under admired and desired?
Okay, basically, here's what I want to use. Here's what I have to use.
Exactly. This is pretty similar to what we saw earlier.
Yeah.
What do we have? Let's see. Flow. I'm not sure what that is. Never heard of Flow before. COBOL still way down there.
That's hot.
Big surprise. But Rust and C# up here at the top. Look at the admired on that.
I know.
It's like
that's always been the case for Rust.
I heard it's
that's
great.
right.
I'm gonna try it one day.
Yep. Yeah, Zig's up there as well in terms of the admired. So I think it's number 3 overall. And
what is the Zig? Tell me a little bit more, John. What is Zig about? Is it
Zig's
a language? Is it like
it's a language
thing? Is it?
Yeah, it's a language for programming, and it's been around for a little time. So it's statically typed. It's sort of a general purpose programming language. It's been around for, I want to say 2016, 2017, I think. And so it's been getting a little bit of traction lately. And it's a bit of a different way. It looks just like TypeScript, JavaScript, but it's got some other things to it as well. So it's got a bunch of capabilities to it. I haven't actually had a chance to play around with it too much, but I've seen people, I've watched people talk about it and do some coding about it. So it's kind of interesting. It's at ziglang.org is the website if you want to know more.
Is there like entity behind that? Is it like an Amazon? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so there's the Zig Software Foundation, I believe, and there's a bunch of folks in the community who are helping to drive it. There's a bunch of companies that underpin it as well.
Interesting. Let's see, that one's a little tough to interpret. Top paying technologies, the Zig thing. If you want to make money,
I know the one Zig developer.
One guy that's doing that. Got a lot of your functional languages up at the top here. That's an interesting observation. Don't know. Does it take a different mindset to use those things? Why do they get paid more? I wonder.
No idea.
Interesting. Yeah. C# kind of
supply and demand.
There.
Supply and demand.
And TypeScript above the C#. That's interesting too. I think that's different. And, or maybe JavaScript's below. So that's look at the way that's positioned. TypeScript, and this is within like a couple, $2,000-$3,000. TypeScript
Assembly
is above C#, JavaScript below C#. But it's kind of, I guess, if you add the two together, you get TypeScript. I don't know. Interesting. They talked about AI a little bit, and it's not what are you using so much. I don't think is.
So are you keen about it? Yeah.
Trying to gauge interest in it.
Are you using IntelliSense or IntelliCode or Copilot, etc.? That's what I got.
Are using AI tools. So professional developers, yes. No, but plan to is kind of down. No and do not plan to, about 30%.
This is like that Futurama episode. 1 beep for no, 2 beeps for yes. Or 1 beep for yes, 2 beeps for no. And it's like, did you murder him? Beep, beep. Yes, yes. Guilty.
This no and do not plan to is like John in VR. It's like, no, not happening.
That's fair. I'll take
People that
that.
are learning to code, very high in the yes regard there. What's the sentiment? Favorable. Everybody has a different, pretty decent outlook on
Sure,
these.
do my
It's really
job.
different.
Yeah.
How much do you want somebody to do your job though? Because eventually you just get priced out of the market. I guess people don't have any fear of this stuff taking over their job, even though they're using it to write code.
We're gonna need that South Park guy. I'm picking it right now. There's gonna be the South Park guy. He's gonna be developer. He's gonna be like, I took our jobs, sort of thing. So the Southern developer, I guess.
This is all just trying to project like what's going to happen with AI and
Sure.
what kind of tools people are using and what part of their development process they're using them in. So if you want to check that out, go get the survey and give it a deeper dive. They do some stuff with employment status, like what positions people are in, geographic, how much money you make in different regions of the world. We won't dig into all that stuff. I'm just not that knowledgeable of how people get paid throughout the world to offer any kind of intelligent conversation on it. I know what folks in the US make, and I'm just gonna pretend I know a little bit about that. But there's
some of the more interesting data I found in this was under professional developers. The subject there, the major topic there was a bunch of technologies that were listed, and a number of reasons. I think it was under. Oh, my apologies. I think it was under. There was a section on tooling that I think was listed at one point. It may have been under technology. No, that's how they did the survey. It might have been under technology.
It's very meta. Purchasing technology.
Oh, okay. Yes, this might purchasing technology. Could you just scroll down for a second? Okay. No, that's not it. Sorry, it's under technology.
Under tech.
And then most top paying technology. Yeah, top paying technologies. So this was more if you keep sorry, my apologies. Let me bring it up on my end. There was a section of the survey that I thought was really interesting. Just looking at it now here.
I think I know what you're talking about too. I don't know why I can't find it. May have touched it already.
No, it's developer profile. And then if you go under most popular technologies, under technology, sorry. So under technology, go most popular technologies. If you scroll down, there's the languages, but we didn't get to it. There's also various frameworks. There's frameworks there. There's various tools like Docker being number one.
There we go.
The one part of the survey that made me laugh, if you just scroll down to the next one. Go up.
IDEs.
Yeah, just scroll up to the next one. Scroll up again. This one made me laugh. Next one, go up. Sorry. The next one, sorry. Amazon Web Services makes sense. This is from cloud perspective. So that makes total sense to me. I'm trying to find the exact, so if you search for asynchronous tools, this is the thing that made me laugh. So just search for async. It will show up as a title. Yeah, here we go. This one made me laugh. Number 1, Jira.
I don't have any experience with Jira.
It's kind of like everyone hates Chris. No one likes Jira. It's like, you get this bad rap about Jira. Jira is a planning tool from Atlassian, and it has a bad rap. I don't know why. Like we use it, we love it, it's great, but it's got a terrible rep amongst developers for some reason. But it is one of the most top used tools out there. So good on them for getting it. Confluence, again, another Atlassian tool. We use that as well. Markdown files always sort of like the brute force. Man. Yeah, that's right. Trello, you and I use Trello. Yep.
Yeah. So I've just finished up writing workshop instructions for a workshop that's coming in September, and I was trying to find a nice way to do this. I ended up putting this all on GitHub in Markdown and just like hitting GitHub pages on it.
Right.
And man, it came out great. Like it was so easy. It's so easy
Yep.
to maintain.
Yep.
Like I'll drop the I hit the wrong button. Let's see here. Come on, where's my link to it? So I dropped it into GitHub Pages, and then like it just came up like this. Like this is this showing? I'm sharing. I'm not sharing this on the right window. There we go.
Is that right? Oh, it
So
looks nice.
just pulled in a template. There's like zero
Yep.
code behind any of this stuff. It's just a
Yep.
feature of GitHub to be able to pull in like a Jekyll template. So the Jekyll template lives out somewhere else on the web. I just pointed towards it. Go get me that template. It's not even brought like into your code or anything, so you don't have like a million files like clogging things up. So all my project consists of is a markdown file for each of these items. So 7 markdown files and the image content, and that's it.
Yep.
Like that's all that's on that GitHub repo, and it comes up as a nice document style web page. So loving Markdown.
Yep.
Loving Markdown.
So if you like Markdown, you can use a framework like Astro, and it will render it really, really nicely as well. We use Astro for our revamped docs, and we're thinking of also integrating Mermaid, which is a Markdown flavored diagram tool. It's built into GitHub as well.
Yeah, the tool that I was using had the capability for that. You just have to put it in the config and enable it. So love and Markdown, definitely use that all the time.
So async tools, and then there's sync tools, and Teams and Slack. No surprises there.
Yeah.
Who's using Google Meet? It's like, really? Google Meet? WhatsApp for work? Okay.
What's down at the bottom?
It's kind of weird, but whatever.
Google Fire Core.
Sure. I'm surprised like Mattermost wasn't more popular, because Mattermost to me, I know IRC, Mattermost to me seems like the best synchronous dev tool. Like meaning, it's got the most extensibility and by far of all the sort of. For me, it goes Slack, Teams, then Discord. But Discord, I haven't seen a lot of people use for work, but Mattermost should be number 4 for me. But Skype, I'm like, what?
Skype, does it even exist anymore? I didn't think.
I don't know.
I thought that was absorbed into Teams. Like I didn't think you could get Skype still. Ring Central.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff there. I don't even know what the Coolfire is, or Unify circuit, operating Windows.
This is I use Windows, but I don't want to tell anyone.
Like 60% of the correspondents were gamers.
Yeah, I know.
Love it.
I'm surprised Arch didn't. I'm surprised Arch didn't get more of a more prominent position, because it's always I use Arch, by the way. So.
Oh, you can still run it locally, like on-prem Skype. That sounds like job security for somebody.
There you
go. I need our Stinger transition, John.
Sure.
I think I need to get the Beavis and Butthead thing cut in.
Yep.
So, moving over to AR, just to wrap the show up here. I know you're ready to go now.
Sure. Well, I've had a lot to say about this, believe me.
I had hopes, John. I'm not an Apple fan. Never been an Apple fan.
Do you like burning money, Ed?
Point in time in my life to convince me to be an Apple fan, this could have been it.
Yeah.
Instead, they released this flaming pile of nonsense for $3,500.
Yeah.
Like, what are they thinking?
The tech is good. The tech is solid. I love the tech. I hate the price tag. The amount of cameras, I think this is, I think the best way I've heard it was this. Apple's always been a people-oriented company, and they pushed a technology-oriented solution. Like this fell so flat for me, and more so, everyone knows my opinion about AR VR. I think it's DOA. If you ask me, I don't think anyone wants to wear these things, nor are they going to afford them. 2 hours of battery life. You're gonna and like every scenario they imagined was,
Tethered battery, by the way.
I know, I know. It's every scenario that they kind of envisioned in their marketing was, they didn't mention games once, and it's all about like separating. It was all people who were alone, and it
Yep.
basically there was the saddest part was there was a father watching his kids play and taking a report. I'm just play
Yeah.
with your kids. Like, stop doing this, you know? Your kids are gonna look at you really weird. The introvert in me loved the fact that it projects your eyes so that you can actually finally look at someone in the eyes without feeling uncomfortable. So
Digital
that yes.
representations of eyes.
Yes.
That's creepy. I'm sorry. That thing giving you a blank stare
Yep.
and blinking intermittently. It's not for me. I'd rather
Yep.
see a black window on their face. Um, this also, like, I think gave a false impression of what it actually does. I don't think a lot of people understand that that is a screen facing
Yes.
outward. That is not the person looking through the
No.
headset like the HoloLens.
No.
The HoloLens, the only true AR device that I've ever seen on the market.
This is going to
This
be, I'm calling it now. This is Newton 2.0. This is not going to sell.
okay.
This is a total flop.
Let's
You
see.
know,
Let's see how far this demo goes here, or this video goes. All right. So
I've seen
we've
this.
got.
Yeah.
Tell me when you see AR. Okay. So that was boring. All right. Nothing AR here. It's 2D on a in a
Yes.
3D space. This is not AR, folks. This is not AR. I'm sorry. Projecting a monitor is not AR. It's just not.
People are not going to buy this thing.
No, there's nothing AR about that. That's not interesting to me. I can do this on my Quest. I can do this today on my Quest. There's nothing special here. My Quest costs $300. This costs $3,500. Let's see what's next. What do we got? Use your voice, hands, eyes. Yeah, I can do that on my Quest 2. And again, we're watching a movie on a headset. This is not AR. Sorry. Next, let's see. What do we got here? We're eating popcorn and watching a movie. That's not AR. Boring. Next.
But hang on, Ed. Scroll back for a second. Just
Yeah.
look at the text. Never seen everything like this before. Scroll up again. Like, go up. There. Do the things you love in ways never before possible. That is a lie.
Things you love, like what? Watch TV?
No. People have been able to do this for a long time.
Yeah.
That's not true. You can do this today at an order of magnitude cheaper.
Yeah. So if you want to go like ultra like cheap, you can just do this on a Quest. If you want to take it up a notch, you can take your Quest and you can connect it to your PC and do PC VR with it. And sure, the number on the price tag might vary from, what is a decent gaming rig, $1,500 these days. Heck, the laptops I grabbed for the kids on Black Friday were $800. They could probably do some decent PC VR stuff, a fraction of the price, and I can do this. This is what is new about this.
I hate
nothing
how
is
Apple,
AR or VR about it. It's a screen on your face. That is not AR or VR.
I don't like how I don't like how Apple always gets a pass from the
Yeah.
community with these statements that they make, and it's this is such I thought
So
I can't. So I just can't.
the HoloLens demos that came out when the HoloLens was brand new were augmented reality. Like, the thing is coming through your physical environment, breaking the wall. Things are appearing in 3D space in front of you. That is AR. Engineers collaboratively working on a 3D model together. That is AR. Watching a 2D movie on your headset is not AR. I'm sorry, it's just not, and it's not something I'm gonna pay $3,500.
The price
permission.
tag was the biggest surprise. I thought that people targeting this space were disconnected from reality. I don't think anyone's going to buy these things, but the price tag was like, you have got to be kidding me. In today's economic climate, no one is going to buy a $3,500 headset. I'm sorry. No one's going to buy that because that thing is going to be $10 billion Australia. So, I mean, no.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the other one they had too, like where they're walking around the house. Like one of the things, it's so just simple and nonsensical. Like there it is. You wouldn't think this is too, cool or anything special, but the fact that the weather is being shown on the table in front of the person and inside their 3D space, and like it's sensing the surface, projecting a 3D model onto that surface, that is leaps and bounds over anything they showed in this junky demo that they had on the Apple thing. It's all a bunch of 2D windows.
It shows me
It's
just how
just
this demonstrates to me that either Apple, if they're one of two things, either Apple has something up their sleeve that they haven't announced, or they are so it's so disconnected from what people I think are going to want to experience. No one's going to pay $3,500 for a laptop experience on their face, on their sweaty face.
yeah.
Like
This is an
sorry,
iPad for your face. This is all it is.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no it's not an AR headset yet. If they come out with some new demos that prove it wrong, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But
For the amount
currently,
of tech they have jammed in here, I was stunned that they didn't like show it off. Like the hardware
yeah,
is amazing. If you look at the tech, the hardware is amazing, but it's like you're looking at browser windows. What are we doing? Like this is ridiculous. So
yeah, and yeah, the Quest one didn't have AR. Matter of fact, the new Quest is the only one that's truly got AR. The Quest 3, which is coming out very soon, has full color pass through. But still, uh, they don't show anything here that can't be done on the Quest 1 because the pass through, quite frankly, doesn't do anything for you other than let you throw 2D windows on it. So it's just not an AR device. It's just not in its current software state anyway. Maybe it has the hardware for it. They're definitely
it
not showing.
definitely
This
has
is
the
the
hardware
most
to run.
lackluster demo I've ever
Yes.
seen in my life.
You are 100% right. It has the hardware. It may be that the software is not ready. That may be. I'm only speculating. I have no inside information. I don't know anything about this thing other than what I saw. What what we all saw is what I know. I can only speculate that they're planning other things. So
Yeah. I mean, they couldn't get like a marketer to cobble together something that at least showed what the device should be capable of sometime in the future. It's all 2D. Look at this. It's all 2D. Every demo that's on here is all 2D. So disappointing. I really wanted something to come out of this, and it's nothing.
Oh, I didn't.
Interest to me.
I didn't. I was just interested in the tech, but yeah, I don't see this taking off.
So I did find a funny article about this, by the way.
I also saw
If
they
I
were
can
like the
show
ski
it.
goggles of loneliness or something like that. Yeah.
This one, the Apple execs seem terrified of being photographed wearing the dorky AR headset. I also digress on the word AR headset, but anyway, get the point. So this goes into very long detail about the fact that the device is never worn by any Apple.
Yeah, why not?
Higher
Why
up.
wasn't it? Why do you
They
think
will
that
not
was?
put it on because when they debuted the HoloLens, they took photos of,
Yeah, and they looked really kind of weird.
yeah,
the people.
it became a meme. So there
Yes.
was like memes going around making fun of people with the headset on. So they just won't put it on. They're like, yeah, I'm not going to become a meme. Like that's how much they believe in their own product. They won't even put it on because they're afraid it might get virally tweeted.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that was interesting.
yeah.
And then there's this one. The 5 things that you could buy
This is
for
exactly
the
my
cost
point. This is exactly my point.
of the Apple Pro headset. See, first of all, hey, high-end
No.
PC. All right, there we go. High-end PC. You could definitely have that for $3,500. I could go
Yes.
bananas with that kind of budget
Yeah.
for a gaming rig. They price it all out and everything. They probably have money left over for that chair.
Yeah.
A 1-week vacation. John's like, the reality part of VR.
Yep.
Just go do the thing for
Yeah.
$3,500.
Create the memory. Yep.
Just go go there, go do it. This actually makes a pretty good point. Like, even if it's international travel, the price of a plane ticket in a hotel for a week, it's probably pretty close to that. A used car. I don't want that car. I've had that car, my friend. I've owned that car. I do not want that car. Um, so I'm gonna disagree with the 3500. But there's some people that's what they absolutely need to get around. I understand. I have been there and experienced it myself. Every gaming console plus the TV.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I love this entry most of all because that shows you just how ridiculous it is. Yeah, you could have literally every gaming console that's out there that is um, the Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and even a Stream Deck. A hot tub, that you don't need that. You could probably buy it for 3,500, but you don't want it. That's another thing to throw your money into. The one that they don't have on here that I think they should have added was 8 Quest 3 headsets for your friends and family. So, there's that. If you wanted to at least stay in the VR space. 8 headsets, John. 8.
Yep. Look, I think it's easy for us to trash. I don't mean to.
Oh, they made it easy. That's on them.
Well,
I'm not
yes, I think.
apologizing.
Okay. I feel bad because it's not in my nature, but part of me is like, what? It's the launch is not good in my book. I expect far more. I expect far better from Apple, and either the vision is wrong or there's stuff that's coming. But if it's the vision is wrong, oh goodness, like that's why I say it could be the next Newton. Not in the case of Newton, like Newton didn't work. That was part of the problem, but for transcription and stuff. But um, this is risky on it. I'm really surprised that Apple's committed to this. So
This is not a good moment for AR. I thought this would be helpful to the effort to make AR a thing. So far, it's just hurting it, in my opinion. It's putting a giant price tag on it for one. It's a headset that you cannot see through for two. I think if we're gonna make any real gains in AR, it's going to be with a set of glasses that is see through and real see through, not faked with a little screen on the front so you can see eyeballs.
it's fair.
But the fact that you can see the environment around you that's not coming through cameras, but seeing the environment with your own eyes, much like the HoloLens. The down part of the HoloLens is its bulkiness. If there was a way to make it more seamless, I think it'd be a huge thing.
My guess for that, Ed, is the fact that people like me who wear, spectacles, they can do adjustments to the focal length, and that would allow it for folks like me to wear them. Because in order to put it on, I got to take off my glasses, right? So by having a projected view in a 4K display next to my eyeball means I can see it.
Yeah. With VR, a lot of people don't need glasses with the units because if they're nearsighted, they don't need glasses, I believe. Farsighted. If they're farsighted, they don't need glasses.
That's correct.
With VR.
Nearsighted, absolutely, I need my glasses.
Yeah. You don't have to focus on something.
It looks so weird. Everything's like blurred except for like the display.
Yeah, but I think the real innovation is going to come when there's an actual clear, transparent HoloLens-like thing that is next gen that we haven't seen yet. This is not it.
The cameras are great. The hardware is reasonable, but like I said, I've said this forever to you, Ed, on this show. The hard part is the battery. I've always said this. Until we get a quantum leap in battery technology, we're going to be tethered to this thing. No one's going to wear this thing.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, I think we're forever stuck on that one because like I said on previous shows, if you bring the battery density down that much that you could put on your face, you're basically strapping a nuclear bomb to your face. If
Pretty
anything
much.
goes wrong with that battery, it's going to take your head off.
Yeah, the lithium batteries when they explode. Oof.
Any type of power source,
Yeah,
you can pack the energy into that small of a space. If it has the opportunity to release all of that energy at one given time, you basically are strapping a bomb to your face. You do not want that on your head. So it's like a catch-22. Cars have the same problem. It's like you're driving around basically with bombs strapped to the vehicle.
well,
If
everyone
they're
knows
if
that.
they're
I mean,
not
you fill the
stable.
thing up with that much gas. Come on.
Yeah, but you're talking about taking the energy density down even further. So
Oh, I'm just talking for like it no, I'm saying that batteries are archaic by comparison to what we've done in cameras and other tech. Like we need an invention. We need 3, 4, 5 inventions in the battery space.
yeah,
Safer, cheaper,
the power
less
consumption
environment.
has to come down in the device more than the battery needs to be increased.
Mm,
But we're getting to the same point.
yep.
We're saying the same things from different directions. So it went dark
This one
there.
really surprised.
It's just the truth. I'm
I
not
know.
going to sugarcoat it. Like if you take this 2-hour battery that they've strapped to this person's tethered to this person's head, and it's in their back pocket. If something were to go catastrophically wrong with it, it's going to burn their leg and their backside pretty hard.
Sure.
You condense that down into like a dime cell. Same amount of energy can be released, but it's in a smaller package, and you put that on your face. If something goes terribly wrong, I don't want that to be on my head. I'm just saying, like it's just physics. Like
This is
it's
what
not
I've
going to
always
be
said.
pretty.
I've tweeted this. I don't know why there isn't more of a push for this, but I've always said stop trying to hack my face. I mean, I don't know why companies are continuing to try and hack my face, but this is at most what I'll wear. And I've seen people with Google glasses on, and I've seen the HoloLens, and I've seen it all. It's just like we don't need this yet. Like I don't know. Sorry, I'll stop.
Yeah, I'll have to find a video and share it. It's there's a guy he does some stuff that's somewhat controversial, but it's usually done in good taste. He's I think he's a nuclear physicist, and he talks about energy density in batteries and how we're kind of like stuck with the vehicles that we have right now, and the range isn't going to get any better because of the same fact. Like if you make a better battery that you pack all of this energy into this car so it can drive cross country, like you're
Sure.
creating a very unstable situation. If something happens to that car, it's going to like take out a city block. So we're kind of going to be stuck with the vehicles that we have and the range that we have for quite some time until there's some better way to, I don't know, bring down the amount of energy it takes to make those motors work or something. So same thing's going to happen on your face. It's not going to happen in anytime soon. So
What a great way to end it.
yeah, that's the dark way to end it. But Apple, it's all Apple's fault, John. If they would have just come out with some better demos, I would have been all over it. I'd have been like, yay, Apple. But it was all 2D, and they really disappointed me this time. They really disappointed me this time.
I suspect we'll see more. That is
Was that
my
a pun?
guess.
Did you just make a dad joke?
Sorry. That's right. I can't wait to see more. That's right.
Dad jokes aside, it's time to end the show, John.
Yep.
We'll have a more uplifting talk next week, I'm sure. We'll skip some of the AR VR stuff. This is really just like
For my sake.
news.
Yeah.
So there's going to be nothing but more of the same. Like, look at this cool 2D thing that Apple's doing for $3,500 for the next probably 6 months. So I'm going to wait till the new Meta headset comes out and maybe try to get one and give that a run. That I'm excited about. It's not so much.
All right.
Other than that, any parting words, John?
No. Just send us your layers of winter clothing, please. I need some.
All right. Take care, John. Try to stay warm, and we will see you next week.